Miami hit the state of North Carolina yesterday in Charlotte, and I saw that Carson Beck drove a little bit of traffic with some comments that he made. Nothing outrageous, but seems to be pretty confident about taking over the job at Miami, and he looks healthy, and we've heard reports that he is healthy. And so I guess we'll start with him. Do you think he's going to be ready for this season? And what did you hear out of Beck and the players that meant anything to you?
I just thought it was really great that he did it publicly. We're down here. I live down here. I get a chance to check some things out sometimes on campus or their side practices. And I've been feeling very confident being able to see and watch, and know. But when you listen, because we're college football nuts, we watch everything that happens everywhere, every conference, every team. We just need all that information. It's kind of like our food, right? So you hear and then the people that you become friends with are like, what's going on with Beck? Is he all right? I'm like, dude, he's slinging it. Everything's fine. I mean, I don't know. And it was really, I don't know, refreshing to see him talk, in a national, spotlight where he oozed confidence. I literally came away, and I'm the type of person that I'm going to wait and see person. But I got to tell you, even if I was not able to be privy to some certain information, I would have walked away after listening to him like, okay, we're going to be really good this year because our quarterback seems like he's on point. But the main thing also was it felt like it was a point of emphasis. I thought, the way he spoke about everything's been good. Like the only thing I couldn't do was throw in spring, but I was there. I stayed after practice. I kept picking different receivers out to stay with after practice. I've been throwing since early May. Blah blah blah. Just really calm. But we'll see. He's got to get hit a few times when the season starts. Got to get up. Got to jog off the field like nothing happened. But I thought the number one word, I actually wrote it and I have a whiteboard that I keep here. I just put confident. It just looked very confident to me. Whether it's real or not, we won't know until, in my opinion, he gets hit, right, and he gets back up like nothing happened. But I thought it was 2 thumbs up if you're a Hurricane fan.
Then there's Mario Cristobal, your head coach, and the thing that's always obvious about Mario is that he's not going to tell too many jokes. He takes his business pretty seriously, and it's going to be just straight and direct. Now, he may not give you much as well, but it's all going to be nuts and bolts football and football talk and no nonsense. So I haven't had a chance to go back to yesterday to hear Coach Cristobal, but what did you get from him?
I think that that's pretty accurate with him. Being a former offensive lineman, he's just not into. He doesn't like social media. He doesn't like the rah-rah stuff. When he first got here, I think that was just talking to people that were internal. That was the thing he was most frustrated about. That we were a big show on social media, but we couldn't do nothing on the field. And he's been a good representation of that. He comes there, he looks like a Marine, doesn't he? Just stand straight up. He says the right things every time. We're gonna be tough. We're gonna be It's literally, you could go to 7 or 8 different interviews that he has at ACC Day, and he's saying the same thing to every single person. He just changes like 1 or 2 words, and that's it. He says the same thing every time. But he's so like that. You're right. He's just like a tunnel vision guy.
And some coaches and some just people in general are really good at that. Regardless of what they're asked, they just already know in their mind, this is what I'm going to say. These are the 5 answers that I have, and I'll just apply them to different questions and just tweak them just slightly. Maybe the first few words are going to make it sound like I'm going to answer your question, but I'm basically just going to tell you all I'm going to tell you.
That's super accurate with him. And do it not for yourself. You're too busy, but if you guys that are watching the show and you want to get a good kick and a laugh, he probably got interviewed, I don't even know how many times yesterday. I try to watch all the interviews from all the coaches, from all the conferences, right? He got asked, he answered like literally, I'm not kidding. He said the same answer 17 different ways by changing 1 word. And everyone was like, oh my God, thank you for appreciate you giving us the information. I'm like, dude, he's telling you the same thing over and over again.
So what other players from Miami made it to Charlotte?
Well, they brought up Wes. He's been there forever since Mario got there. He's a linebacker, right? Basante. They had CC, Manoa, who is projected to be one of the best tackles in the country. He's like a walking duplex. I mean, he just 6'6", 335, walks around like he's just, hello, how you doing? I'm I'm literally Sasquatch. And Carson Beck, and then they brought in Akeem Messidor also, who is finally healthy, which is actually, like, fingers crossed, it's a miracle, that he's been practicing and everything's going good. So, a lot of high character guys, kind of like Mario would normally do. So no one's going to say nothing dumb. All those guys are probably well scripted by the media department. Like, if they ask you this, you say that, a lot of basic stuff. I think that he looks at it as a privilege to bring these players as a representation of Miami. So you're not going to get much out of them either. They're pretty kind of like he is in a certain way. Beck actually gave you the most. He was a little more articulate when he talked, which was kind of nice. But other than that, it was just those four, and same answers pretty much from all the guys.
So it's a good season for Miami.
On paper, I mean, it's one of those things. Like, I just try to be honest all the time with it. Talent acquisition is not going to be a problem here. Depth is not going to be a problem. Size and speed is not going to be a problem here. They can pretty much line up with almost anybody in the country if you go roster to roster. Maybe one or two teams, but other than that, 96% of the country, Miami can line up, and it's not going to be a roster issue. So it's exciting about that, but it's going to come down to coaching, right? Can we call the timeout at the right time? As a joke, can we take a knee when we're supposed to take a knee, right? Just things like that are where I have my question marks with my team. And if we can take that step, I think it's definitely an interesting year, because blow for blow, I don't know, other than Clemson, who we're going to look in the mirror, that's in our conference. I mean, we should be favored in every conference game.
Absolutely. That is the case. You got to think that the Notre Dame game, which I think is about a 3-point game, according to Vegas right now, Florida, and no Clemson on the schedule. So is there another game out there that might be Louisville on the road on a Friday night?
Look, we're professional at kicking ourselves in the mouth. Like, we're experts.
I think there could be other games that jump up at you, but I'm talking about the ones that Vegas thinks are going to be close.
Yeah, I when I said Clemson, it's just, I guess I'm being very optimistic. I see us in playing them in the AC championship game, and I would be shocked if that wouldn't happen this year. I mean, we had no defense last year, and we still almost got there. This year, we're bringing Corey Heatherman over from Minnesota. Shout out to the Big Ten. Thank you so much. And it looks like it's a completely different look there. On offense, really not going to miss too much. Cam Ward's generational, but Carson Beck's nothing to sneeze at. You have one of the top 3, top 4 offensive lines in the entire country. I mean, this isn't a shot at my conference, but if you coach average, you should be playing Clemson in the ACC championship. That's just how I look at it.
Yeah, we were talking about that on our show last week. And again, we'll be at it tonight, folks, talking with Cam Underwood, State of the U, Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. on our Miami show. But, it's just kind of hit both of us that you got to look at the coaching deficiency, not just talking about Mario Cristobal, but talking about the last umpteen coaches. When you look at Miami talent and you look at the schedule every year, and it's typically like, okay, there might be one team that's better, maybe. Like, just talking about talent. One team, there might be none. There might be just 3 teams that are equal. So you split these 3 or 4 games, it should be rolling off 10 and 2s. If you split against who you're equal with, and sure, anybody understands getting tripped up once every 3 years against somebody, but that shouldn't happen 2 or 3 times every year. So,
I mean, you hit it on the head. If you watch any football, you'd watch a lot of the blue bloods. I consider Miami, a blue blood if you're old as I am. And the last 20 years, at least, it's just been underachieving on the field over and over again. But it's not really been the rosters. It's not really been the players. I mean, we're in the ACC, and again, there's no shot at the ACC, but we're a top 2, top 3 roster every single year in the ACC. So to me, it's always been coaching. It's not, oh my God, look what happened. No, oh my God, look what happened happens too much, And this year, I feel he's tried to plug the holes up. I mean, we stay relatively healthy, and I'm not one of those optimistic guys, the Kool-Aid dudes. I fell into that trap too many times, and I drowned in the Kool-Aid pool. So now I kind of take a wait and see approach, but I'm finding it really hard to be, not be playing who I think is the best team in the ACC, Clemson, at the end of the year, because we're just too deep, we're too big, we're too fast. We have a quarterback that's been there 7 million times. I mean, when you play in the SEC and you have that kind of success, regardless if you have the best players in the country, and last year when he had an off year, he didn't have the best players in the country, and they still got to the SEC championship game. So I look at it like I'm just looking at the coaches, man. I'm literally just looking at the coaches.
No doubt. Miami Flow is easy to find. It's right here on YouTube. You see it right there on the screen, so you can catch Miami Flow's work on X. You see the Twitter handle right there, and then also, again, right here on YouTube. So what needs to be worked on during August camp more than anything else?
I think even if whatever team anybody that's watching is a fan of, you just want to get out healthy, number one, right? Relatively healthy, no major injuries. But the main thing is, does Carson look the part with everybody when some of the bullets are flying? Because I'm not very privy to how other people run their camps in fall, but Mario runs it where he lets the OC and the DC scheme against each other, like just to make it uncomfortable. So you'll know. It's not like spring where everything's butterflies and flowers and fireworks. Fall, he makes it ugly. He makes it where, you get uncomfortable. And so I'm looking to see when, Corey Heatherman comes up and does a couple looks that maybe we're not used to. How do we react? Are we pointing fingers, or are we just like, okay, I'm glad I saw this at camp. Let's fix it. But yeah, just coming out healthy. I know I sound like a broken record, and you and I have known each other for a few years, but if this year they don't take the jump, I don't know what to say. I mean, I study rosters. I don't know much about anything else, but I study rosters, and this is probably the best roster we've had in, I can't remember. I mean, I'm talking all the way through, right? I'm talking the second wave, the second tier guys. Like, I don't know. So if we don't do it this year, and I might just quit and start playing pickleball. I don't know.
Well, you can do both. You can pick the pickleball and stay with the canes as well.
Right.
You could try that.
Shout out to my friend Lex. He's turning into a pickleball guy, and it's in my head now. But yeah, I mean, look, ACC week, it's exciting. I still don't know why, or I don't know if it's the Big Ten or we schedule it on the same dates. That makes no sense to me at all. Like, why do we do that? I just, it's common sense to me. Like, what are you doing? But yeah, I've been watching it like crazy. Every coach says everything's great right now. The players look good. We're the greatest team. We're so excited. Camp's good. Summer's amazing. Can't wait for camp. Da da da. You know the drill. You've been doing this a while. Everybody's so excited right now. Let's see what happens when the Mike Tyson comes out and someone gets punched in the face. And let's see what happens.
And you guys are going to get punched in the face, and you're also going to be throwing the punches quicker than most teams because it gets serious right out of the gate.
Right out the gate.
No Ball State warm-ups or anything like that.
No, and you know what? Full disclosure, that's one of my favorite coaches in the country. I think that guy has done an incredible job. First-class guy. Just love what he does at that program over there. I'm not a Notre Dame fan, clearly, but I have to respect what he does and how he talks and how he runs that team. So we know we're going to get the best punch from them. I'm really happy we're playing at home, to be honest. And, I'm happy it's a year where I feel like, okay, we can go toe to toe. It's not like, oh no, we're starting with Notre Dame. I'm actually like, yes, bring them, because I feel like, again, if we don't do it this year, I might, things might get real ugly for me.